It's day 2 of the African Mining Indaba in Cape Town. The gathering brings together players in the mining industry to explore investment, finance, innovation and transformation in the sector. SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi is standing by for us. A very good afternoon, Katlego. Tell us what's happening where you are.
A very good afternoon to you, Nompu, once again, and to our viewers at home. Well, when you look at it, it's all systems go for day 2, looking at the conversations that have already been uncovered so far, more or less attributing them to various entities that are here on the ground. So government also not wanting to be left behind. It has brought through its entities to form part of these conversations here. I'm going to be bringing Mintek into the conversation this afternoon. They're celebrating 90 years in terms of the work that you guys have been doing on the ground. We find you here and ensuring that at least there's meaning towards the work that you've been doing in transforming the minerals sector. Mariekie, good afternoon. Welcome to the SABC.
Good afternoon and thank you for having me.
Just give us a sense of 90 years later, we find you still forming part of these conversations to ensure that there's transformation. Let's start at where we find ourselves as the minerals sector, where South Africa is concerned.
Yeah, I think we are currently in a very exciting stage of the mining sector. We're all talking about critical minerals, what metals and minerals do we need for the future, and Mintek is playing quite a central role in ensuring that we can extract these metals and that we can refine them and give them to industry in a form that we can use it to, for example, produce batteries for energy storage purposes, etc. So I think it's this. As you've said, we're 90 years old. We've over the years developed many technologies that are innovative, that has been transferred to the industry to not only improve on the extraction, but also looking at the environmental side. You know, making processes more water efficient and energy efficient. And I think that's one of the other areas where we really need to focus on now, is to ensure that we also look at the environment and that we can comply with all the ESG requirements. So as you may know, Mintek is playing along the whole value chain, so from mineral characterization, mineral processing, extractive metallurgy, as well as value addition in terms of advanced materials and material science. And then also we look at rehabilitation. You know, yesterday that was one of the areas that the President also mentioned. Rehabilitation of previously or they currently ownerless mines. So it's important that we rehabilitate those and make those areas available for other purposes again. So that's just sort of broadly what we're currently doing, where we're focusing. And I think our advantage is that, you know, when you have a history of 90 years, there's a lot of knowledge that is in Mintek, and for us, you know, it's important to also transfer this knowledge to the new generation, and we also do a lot of training, transferring of skills, etc. So that's just in a nutshell who we are and what we're currently doing.
Yeah, if I can come in there, I mean, Mariekie, in 90 years, it's no child's play, and we see you really moving with the time, decade by decade. You are right to say that really where we find ourselves, there's a lot of uptick in terms of technological advancement, and you as a company wouldn't want to be left behind. Technology is one of the central pillars that holds Mintek, and we see you moving into this space. The theme this year, talking about disruption and how then the mineral sector can capitalize on the developments where technology is concerned. Just let us in on how important would it be that this sector positions itself. Mintek comes through as well to ensure that no one is left behind, also looking at transformation.
Yes. I think what we should remember is that if we, for example, look at the energy transition, we can't do it without mining. We do need to build many more mines. You know, we're talking about more than 300 mines in the near future, just to be able to supply the metals that we actually need to change our energy to renewable energy. You know, if you look at an electric car, for example, it actually needs 6 times the amount of metals that you would put in a normal internal combustion engine. We need metals for energy storage, for the wind turbines. So I think the mining industry is critical, and we need to find that balance where we say we do need the metals, but how can we also make sure that we don't damage the environment? And this is also where Mintek plays a role, in terms of making our processes, as I've already mentioned, more energy efficient, also water efficient. Can we recycle, for example, the water and reuse it in our processes? We have projects where we're looking at treatment of, for example, acid mine drainage, where we then use this water to irrigate crops. So you're actually creating new industries as you recycle. We're also looking at how can we treat waste. There's so many waste streams that we have to deal with. Can we get value from those? For example, tailings treatment. You all know about all these big dumps that we have. We have technologies to actually remove the valuable metals from those. We can look at electronic waste. We are producing more and more batteries now, solar panels. In the next, I would say, 10 years, we're going to end up with dumps containing huge amounts of this battery waste, and we need to start developing those technologies so that we can be ready, say in 10 years or 5 years time, to actually deal with this. We're also looking at, for example, our ore resources becoming more low grade. They're also more complex. So we need to be more innovative in terms of our technologies. It's not so easy to just extract these metals. You need to, for example, if you have a low-grade ore, you will have to put bigger volumes through to get the same amount of metal out. That means that you will have to use more water, more energy, and that is sort of where we play a role in developing those processes to enable us to get the value out of those resources.
Mariekie Gericke, I'm sorry about that. If you can come in. Thank you very much for your time. We're out of time, but everything of the best. I know very well that there are those critical conversations that you've been having, and you'd look at ensuring that 90 years doesn't go to waste as we move in terms of striking that balance. Mariekie Gericke coming through there as a group executive from Mintek. They're continuing this afternoon with those conversations. Nompu also trying to strike a balance in terms of where and how then we can capitalize on technology and ensure that this sector is transformed in years to come.